Great question about public education. I think there are a number of stages of this that we want to get to. First of all, we've seen teachers not have a raise in a very long time. And we have attracted great teachers into Virginia and homegrown great teachers, but you can only strain that so long if you continue to see cost of living go up, but raises not go up. And ultimately that comes back to this legislature question. As long as we have this right-wing legislature simply because of how the maps are drawn, you're not going to see those kinds of common sense solutions. Based on crossover this week, it looks like there's a small chance that there will be some funding that could go to a teacher raise without a local match, but we're going to track and see how that goes here over the next couple of weeks. We also need to look at, in my mind, the issue of universal pre-K. I think we probably would already have that in Virginia if it wasn't for the gerrymandered maps. It's something that polls very well across the political spectrum, and businesses like it, because the fact is one of the main things excluding people from the economy, particularly women, is the cost of daycare. Let's be honest. And if that's taking 50% of your income right off the bat, then you're probably simply not going to be entering into the workplace during that time. So we need to be supporting early childhood development, et cetera. The other thing which I think I hear from teachers that I identify with a lot is the issue of student-centered learning. That we, in this day and age, need to get through, whether it's the project design or other ways that we're teaching, that different kids learn different ways. And I'll just be very honest with you about this. When I was young, you probably see it now, I wasn't one of those kids that sit still well. I didn't necessarily have the longest attention span, but because of my structural privileges, I was told that made me dynamic, it made me a leader, and it put me on a pathway to running organizations and running for Congress. But if I looked different, if I was a poor African-American kid in a different system without some of those privileges, I guarantee I would have been disciplined and suspended, even at that K-3 level where we're seeing kids end up and start on that school-to-prison pipeline. So we have to figure out a way to ensure that we are looking at the dignity and the treasure inside each kid and figuring out a way to bring that out and creating systems that allow teachers to do that instead of this cookie-cutter approach that we're pushing everyone in exactly the same direction to learn in a different direction. The other one that I mentioned earlier, which I'll come back to, is this issue about multiple pathways into the workplace. And different people want to learn different ways. When I was growing up, we still had what was then called vocational training. And we got rid of it for, I was 12 at the time, I didn't have anything to do with it, but people got rid of it for a good reason, which was it tended to track kids, particularly students of color and poor kids, into non-college tracks. The problem was it was a bit of an overcorrection, because then it meant there are some people who want to have those tracks available and learn and flourish in those spaces. And so I think what we're seeing now is that we want not just 1 or 2, but 7 or 8 pathways for kids to find their way. And some of those are going to be through more empirical learning and apprenticeship programs. But we're not giving our teachers the opportunity and the space to do those sorts of things. And then we have to have a space for people to go after high school so that they don't feel like it's a waste of their time and they're just in a holding pattern. And that's making higher education affordable, whether that's the skills training program or beyond.